The Minnesota Vikings have selected wide receiver from Marshall University, Randy Moss.
I mean, Randy Moss is one of the most unique, talented players that have ever graced the face of the earth.
He was freakishly talented. I mean, that's, we called him a freak.
It's a thing of beauty.
All he had to do was, catch the ball, and he was able to run around people, jump over people.
The legend, Randy Moss. Popularly known as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Randy Moss was a legend that is mostly spoken of in the sport. However, just like most NFL pros and legends, his success story starts off pretty early during his collegiate years. Born in Rand, West Virginia, Randy Moss was a natural athlete right from his high school days. He attended DuPont High School, where he played football, basketball, track, and baseball, and he excelled in every single one of them. As if that wasn't enough, he was also a member of the school's debate team, showing a rare excellence in academics and sports. As a member of the DuPont High School team, Randy led the Panthers to back-to-back state championship victories in 1992 and 1993. He was a star player who served as the wide receiver but also played free safety and served as the team's kicker and punter. Randy was the true definition of an athletic genius, and he was widely recognized for it, earning multiple accolades, including the Harris H. Kennedy Award as the West Virginia Football Player of the Year in 1994, a member of the annual All-American High School Football Team by Parade Magazine in 1995, and one of the 50 greatest high school football players of all time in 2009. While he received a series of awards for his achievements in high school football, that wasn't the only sport where he was recognized for his athletic abilities. Randy was also a two-time West Virginia Player of the Year in basketball in 1994 and 1995, as well as being the West Virginia state champion in both 100 and 200-meter races with times of 10.94 seconds and 21.95 seconds, respectively. He was a true athletic marvel, but young Randy had a dream he had his eyes set on.
People say things about Randy Moss's athletic ability. He was a freak.
I think right now he's the best wide receiver in football.
Randy always dreamed of playing for the Fighting Irish, the college football team of the University of Notre Dame Duloc in Indiana, and luckily, Notre Dame offered him a full scholarship in 1995. Even the head coach at the time, Lou Holtz, stated, "Randy Moss was the best high school football player I've ever seen." It would have been great if life just stayed as good as it was for Randy, but unfortunately, fate wouldn't have it that way. Randy's dream of playing for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish was cut short when he got involved in a racially motivated fight during his senior year at high school. Apparently, Randy had supported his friend, who got into a fight against a white schoolmate who had used racial slurs toward his friend. This fight saw him put his athleticism to the wrong use, putting one person in the hospital and having him charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor battery. He was sentenced to 30 days at the South Central Regional Jail in Charleston, West Virginia. Randy was subsequently expelled from DuPont High and had to complete his education at Cabell Alternative School, with Notre Dame denying his enrollment application. Following the incident, Randy stated, "When I lost my scholarship, I just sat down and prayed to the Lord that another opportunity would come my way."
Pretty much nixed him. He was on his way to Notre Dame. Then Bobby Bowden took a shot of him at Florida State, but while he tested positive for marijuana while serving some time, that nixed his potential career at Florida State.
And the Lord heard his prayers. Notre Dame officials suggested Randy attend Florida State University due to its coach Bobby Bowden's reputation for handling troubled players. It turns out that Randy had caught the eye of Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden, who compared him to Deion Sanders, saying, "He was as good as Deion Sanders. Deion's my measuring stick for athletic ability, and this kid was just a bigger Deion." Due to his signed letter of intent at the University of Notre Dame, the NCAA considered Randy a transfer student to Florida State, so he had to redshirt the 1995 football season, which basically limits his participation in games. Randy's jail term was set for him to serve 3 days in jail, starting the night of his sentence, and he would then be required to serve the remaining 27 days within the 18 months after he completed his freshman year in college. However, in 1996, While serving his 30-day jail term in a work release program, Randy tested positive for marijuana, which violated his probation, got him booted from Florida State, and added an extra 60 days to his jail time for the probation violation. After all the run-ins with the law, Randy still really wanted to play some football, so he returned to his home state and joined Marshall University. Since the university was a Division I AA school, Randy was able to transfer and play in the 1996 season without having to sit out another year as a redshirt. Even with all the ruckus with the law, Randy was still an athletic genius, and with time, he went on to dominate the Division I AA, showing why schools like Notre Dame and Florida State wanted him in the first place. Randy started setting records left and right from his freshman year, including NCAA Division I AA records for the most games with a touchdown catch in a season at 14 touchdowns, most consecutive games with a touchdown catch at 13 touchdowns, most touchdown passes caught in a season at 28, and most receiving yards gained by a freshman in a season at 1,709 yards on 78 catches, a record which still stands. Randy was also the leading kickoff returner in the division for that season, with a total of 612 yards and a 34-yard average. Marshall Thundering Herd went undefeated for the 1996 season, winning the Division I AA title, and it marked Marshall's last season before moving to Division IA. The 1997 season, Marshall Thundering Herd's first season at the Division IA, had Randy and quarterback Chad Pennington leading the team to the Mid-American Conference title, with Randy catching 26 touchdown passes that season, a Division IA record at the time.
You've been in many of these over the years and involved in many drafts from your days in Minnesota to your time in Baltimore as the head coach. And I believe you were in Minnesota when you guys drafted Randy Moss, correct, Coach?
Marshall Thundering Herd won the Mid-American Conference title in its first year in Division IA, with Randy becoming an All-American thanks to 26 touchdowns in 13 games and 96 catches for 1,820 yards. Randy also won the Fred Biletnikoff Award for being the season's outstanding receiver regardless of position, as well as the Mid-American Conference Offensive Player of the Year, and got to be a Heisman finalist, despite playing for a small school new to 1A football, a true feat in itself. After just 2 seasons of college football, Randy declared for the NFL draft, but his troublesome past forced many teams to back off what was the most talented receiver available. Randy's stock dropped until the Minnesota Vikings decided to take a chance on him, one of their best decisions ever. Thanks to Randy Moss and other stars, the Minnesota Vikings set a record for the most points scored in a season, with Randy having 69 catches for 1,313 yards and 17 touchdowns, a rookie record at the time. Of course, Randy was named the Offensive Rookie of the Year and made a Pro Bowl. The rest of his professional career was more of the same from Randy Moss, and he enjoyed a pretty successful career. He played in 2 Super Bowl games, and in 2018, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as well as being a member of the NFL 2000s All-Decade Team and the NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this. You could also check out the next video to your right.